see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
This test drew attention because for years, MotoGP had used Michelin as its sole tire supplier. The presence of Pirelli tires in the private test piqued the curiosity of many, including Toprak's rivals on the track. One of those who made an interesting comment was Australian rider Jack Miller. When asked about the test results, Jack Miller gave a rather surprising response. The famously outspoken rider admitted he wasn't particularly surprised by Toprak's results, but he also emphasized that different tire characteristics can significantly impact a bike's performance. Miller said that each tire has a different design philosophy. Michelin tires are designed to provide a balance between grip and durability in the demanding conditions of MotoGP racing. Pirelli tires are known for being highly competitive in other championships, such as the Superbike World Championship, where Toprak has previously achieved considerable success. According to Miller, one of the most interesting aspects of the Jerez test was how Toprak's riding style adapted to the characteristics of the Pirelli tires. Toprak has long been known for his aggressive braking technique, often employing extreme late braking before corner entry. This technique perfectly suits the characteristics of Pirelli tires, which provide strong grip during the initial braking phase. However, what made the paddock even more curious was reports that Toprak's lap times were different from what many had expected. Several sources reported that at the beginning of the session, Toprak's performance looked very impressive. He was able to set quite competitive lap times in just the first few laps. However, as the lap count increased, differences in tire characteristics began to be felt. Some observers noted that consistent lap times were not as easy as expected. This was the subject of Jack Miller's comments. Miller explained that in MotoGP, consistency is everything. A fast lap is important, but what determines the outcome of a race is the ability to maintain speed over dozens of laps. He said that many riders can be very fast early on, but the real challenge is maintaining that performance throughout the race. Furthermore, Miller highlighted how motorcycle setup must change significantly when using different tires. Suspension setup, weight distribution, and even braking strategy can all change completely. This makes tests like Toprak's very interesting for engineers and analysts in the paddock. For Toprak himself, these tests are more than just technical experiments. Many see it as part of his adaptation process to MotoGP. Since moving from Superbike, many observers have been eager to see how his riding style has developed in the Premier class. Jack Miller himself acknowledged that Toprak has a unique riding style. He said that not many riders can do what Toprak does in corners, especially when the bike is at its limit. However, Miller also added that MotoGP is a very different environment compared to Superbike. Every small detail can have a major impact on performance. Therefore, he believes the results of a single test session do not always reflect the full picture of true potential. Although the test was private, information leaked from the paddock was enough to spark speculation among MotoGP fans worldwide. Could Pirelli tires truly provide a specific advantage for a rider with a style like Toprak's? Or does the difference in results actually demonstrate the complexity of modern MotoGP? Here's the full story. The MotoGP world is once again in the spotlight following news of a private test session held at the Circuito de Jerez Angel Nieto, Spain. This test attracted attention because it involved one of the most eye-catching riders in recent years, Toprak Razgatlioglu. The Turkish rider reportedly underwent crucial testing ahead of the 2026 season, attempting something unconventional in MotoGP. During the test, Toprak reportedly tested a MotoGP bike using Pirelli tires. This move immediately aroused considerable curiosity in the paddock, as MotoGP has traditionally used Michelin tires as its official tire supplier. The differences in the characteristics of the two tire manufacturers have led many to wonder how a MotoGP rider would perform when trying tires with different philosophies. The test, conducted behind closed doors, initially went largely unnoticed by the public. However, as usual, information from within the paddock quickly spread among journalists and the technical team. Several reports stated that Toprak underwent several running sessions, focusing primarily on understanding the characteristics of the tires, particularly under hard braking, and when entering corners at high speed. Toprak found this test particularly interesting, given his familiarity with Pirelli tires. Before moving to MotoGP, he built a formidable reputation in the Superbike World Championship, where Pirelli was the official tire supplier. In that championship, Toprak was known as one of the most spectacular riders, particularly for his extreme braking style and ability to control the bike at the limit. However, when he moved to MotoGP, everything changed. The characteristics of the Michelin tires used in the Premier class require a different technical approach. Many riders need time to adapt their riding style to maximize the tire's performance. Therefore, seeing Toprak try Pirelli again in a private test was a very interesting experiment. One of the riders who commented on this test was Australian rider Jack Miller. Miller is known for being quite open when speaking to the media. When asked about Toprak's test in Jerez, Miller gave his views quite frankly. According to Miller, the different test results were not surprising. He explained that each type of tire has unique characteristics, and small differences in tire compound or construction can significantly change the behavior of the bike on the track. Miller said that in modern motorcycle racing, tires are one of the most crucial factors. A powerful engine, advanced aerodynamics, and complex electronics won't yield maximum results if a rider can't maximize the potential of the tires they use. He also explained that Pirelli tires are known for their strong initial grip. This greatly assists riders during hard braking and corner entry. In situations like these, an aggressive riding style like Toprak's can be very effective. However, Miller also cautioned that performance in one or two fast laps doesn't always reflect actual performance in a race. In MotoGP, riders must maintain tire performance for dozens of laps at very high pressures. According to several reports from the paddock, Toprak did indeed record quite impressive lap times early in the test session. This immediately sparked speculation that the characteristics of the Pirelli tires might be well suited to his riding style. However, after several longer runs, reports emerged that lap time consistency was becoming a challenge. Some observers noted that differences in tire characteristics began to be felt when the bike was forced to work under more extreme conditions over many laps. This was the focus of Jack Miller's comments. He explained that in MotoGP racing, consistency is the key to achieving great results. Many riders can set a very fast single lap, but few are able to maintain that pace throughout the race. Miller also highlighted that changing tires isn't just a simple component swap. When tire characteristics change, teams must adjust many other aspects of the bike, from suspension setup and geometry to electronic strategies. He explained that even a small change in tire performance can force a team to make major changes to the bike setup. That's why tests like Toprak's are so important for engineers. Beyond the technical aspects, these tests also provide an interesting glimpse into Toprak's adaptation to MotoGP. Since his first entry into the Premier class, many fans and analysts have been curious about how his riding style will develop in this highly competitive environment.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body.